expect a double mark. Also, in conjunction with the University of Padua, we created Rocket, that is an in-house engineering program that allows us to develop world-class coasters with astonishing accuracy. This means that the entire project, from layout to structural analysis, is totally tangle-free. We also opened our own fabrication facility for manufacturing columns and tracks. Keeping the entire process in-house allows us to better monitor quality assurance. And our team is working hard to build some of the industry's best tracks by combining a detailed quality assurance that features checks by both people and computers. We define ourselves as a one-stop shop because we take responsibility for every project from start to finish, and we have been doing it for 56 years now. Both of these changes showcase how Zamperla is building a bridge to the future with some of the most innovative roller coasters around. In every segment of the market that we have entered, kiddie rides, family rides, and thrill rides, we excel because of our commitment to quality and innovation. I know roller coaster division will see the same success, and the Lightning LSM coaster is a great example you will see in the future. The coming years will be two critical years for Zamperla, and you will have confirmation of this very soon. And now let me call Michelle Frost, President and CEO of Legend at the end.
Thank you, Antonio. I am absolutely thrilled to be here today at IAPA, the industry-leading event for our industry, and standing next to our partners from Zamperla to unveil our latest ride collaboration with their team. Our park Playland in Vancouver, BC, is known around the world with coaster enthusiasts because of our 1958 wooden roller coasters. But today signals a fresh new era of post-COVID recovery, strength, and investment. In addition to the state-of-the-art launch coaster engineered and manufactured by Zamperla, Zamperla is just one of the most respected ride companies in all the world. And this ride is going to be such a significant addition to our park. Playland already has several Zamperla rides, and we added the very unique Zamperla Griffin this past year. But the addition of this new launch coaster is going to allow us to continue to thrill coaster enthusiasts from Canada and around the world for generations to come. It's also an important signal of expansion and redevelopment of our own park that's coming in the years ahead. So I really want to thank Antonio, Adam, Michael, and the entire team at Zamperla. We look forward to seeing this project through to fruition and welcoming our first guests in the summer of 2024.
So at this point, the moment has come, the lightning reveal.
They're just getting you ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new lightning train.
Nice. Ready?
We can hardly wait to get this into our park. It is so sexy and fantastic.
Let me call on the stage Adam Sandy that will take any other question, but it will also explain a little bit more about the lightning train.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Round of applause for showing Antonio. You know, we are so excited to be here today to share the Lightning with you guys. But first, I want to give a big shout out to Alberto Ferry. He runs our roller coaster division. And the great news is we're so busy next year, he couldn't be here. But big shout out to him. He's driven a lot of this design and is responsible for the 10th generation of Zamperla coasters. And we're thrilled because I think with the Lightning train and our new ride concept, you're seeing a lot of things from Zamperla rides. Kind of three key features. One, we're building great rides. We've always done that, but it's in our DNA now. Second, we made cost of ownership a key engineering criteria. What does that mean? Well, we own parks too. Luna Park, Luna Farm, parks in different countries. And we know the challenges and stresses of running an amusement park profitably. That's why we design every ride with cost of ownership. That dollars and cents it takes to run a ride in mind when we create new rides. Third, what we call viral essence. What do I mean by that? Well, the Nebulous, the launch on this coaster, we're creating new rides and concepts that are different from the traditional round rides of the past. The rides that everyone, from young kids to the mom who's riding the bench with all the bags in her hands, are going to love and take in. When you create rides that everyone who visits the park can experience and enjoy, you know you have a home run. And I know there are a lot of great roller coaster vehicles here. You walk around the floor and you see some great concepts. There's even one nearby that looks suspiciously like this one. It's funny how that happens. But that's the thing about Zamperla. We don't just make pretty rides, we back it up with engineering. So now we've got 25 engineers who are dedicated to our roller coaster business unit. 25 engineers that are making sure we create the best roller coasters possible. And we're thrilled about that. And when you look under the hood here, you see different things than our competitors. The aluminum milled chassis, it's a billeted piece of aluminum. No steel, no welds. What does that mean? On an annual basis, it takes less time and money to take care of our coasters than our competitors. Simple things, the seat foam. Not a big deal, right? It's just foam. Why is it important? Because whenever you own a coaster, you have to ship a whole seat out every time you get a new foam. If you have 24 seats, that's 24 boxes. That's a lot of money. Now you can replace it right at your house. It's easy, it's simple, and that's what we're trying to do at Zamperla. Even things like the restraints, which can accommodate 95% of the people in the US, 48 inches and taller. They're really comfortable, really secure. Wide row-to-row distance. On other Lightning coasters, it's even wider than this one to allow for wheel capacity each hour. Our goal is to deliver the best roller coasters in the industry, and we have the best production team and engineering team to make that happen. So thank you guys so much for coming. If you get some time today, step in the Lightning, pull the restraint down, and we cannot wait to go for a ride with you at Playland in 2024. Thanks so much.
Okay, and then here you have it. That is the launch coaster for Playland, which is going to open next year. Sorry, it's really close for me. Next up is going to be the Cedar Point announcement for their Spinning Wild Mouse. They're actually going to have another reveal at the same booth. We're right in front of that one, so we'll have a better angle. Rumor has it that Tony Clark is here to commence the occasion, so that's really exciting. But I'm going to try to get some opinions and stuff here live on the channel for you guys to check out. So thank you guys for sticking with me with this. Hop in the chat. Let me know how the signal is. Let me know if it looks good or if it's choppy, the audio is good, and so on. So till then, let's see what we got. Okay, Don, what did you think? Yeah, I thought it was neat. Yeah, I liked how we talked about like the padding, how they can replace it in-house, because it seems like that's a huge problem for a lot of things, like especially, you know, with B&Ms and stuff, how it's the whole chair. So I think that could be pretty impressive. But the Zamperla launch coaster, that's going to be pretty cool, you know. Right, yeah, I want to figure out how they feel and stuff. They look really comfortable. I'm gonna come up here, you know. So they're kind of like the mock rides, you know, where they're all lap bar, you know. So it's like the lap bar is a pretty extensive system, but it's it's just that. But look at the wheel assembly down there. I don't know if I'll be able to get a good shot of it right now because people are crowding it, but here's yeah, they do kind of remind me of Velocicoaster trains. He made a reference to, how they look like somebody else's trains around here, and I think that might have been what he was talking about, something with Intamin. There's a nebulizer moving. They turned that off for the announcement. That's my first time seeing one in person. That's such a pretty ride. It looks like it's going to wreck itself, but so cool. They're building one at the island at Pigeon Forge if it hasn't opened yet. So let's come over here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is Scott Bickerton from the Pleasure Beach Experience.
Hello.
What did you think of the announcement?
Very good. I think they gave us lots of information, and then they did the train reveal. It's really well engineered. Very exciting to see new technology like this, and it looks like it'll be nice and smooth.
The train looks really comfortable. That's one thing I'll hand it. I was just talking about how I liked how the padding on it and stuff could be replaced because that gets gross real quick.
Yeah.
So we got Cedar Point coming up here in a minute with their spinning wild mouse, so that's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Have you been to Cedar Point yet?
Yeah. First time we went in 2018.
Oh, really?
2019, and then literally 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah, it's definitely a sight to behold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great place. And, looking forward to seeing how them and Zamperla work together.
Awesome. Hey, why don't you tell the viewers who you are and where to find you?
Okay, cool. So you can find me on Pleasure Beach Experience on YouTube and on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram growing now as well as TikTok. Mainly on YouTube, doing vlogs, on-ride videos, ride reviews, and vlog season updates of Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Usually the big one's track being lifted out and being replaced with new track.
Yeah, so Pleasure Beach Experience. He doesn't just cover Pleasure Beach though. So it covers much more than that. But awesome. I love your versatility, but stick with it. We'll circle back with you after the Cedar Point one too, all right?
Thank you.
Let's see what's going on here. So, looks like people are taking the time to get their pictures taken with the new train. That is a good looking train, Let's look at that. So while we're waiting for the other reveal, this is probably many of your first looks at IAAPA, but this is the floor here. So for those of you stuck around, that's pretty cool. This is SNS Access for those of you who are curious about those trains. So that's really cool. That's kind of the future. Tons of booths with games. There's inflatables. There's Premier Rides. Shout out to Flight of Fear. So there's Philadelphia Toboggan. We're actually going to do a little bit of work with Tom Reeby from Philadelphia Toboggan, so expect to see more from him. But they've got some examples of their trains here. There's some nebulizing bumper cars and stuff. I'm not going to show too much because we got a lot of content coming. I don't want to spoil anything, but I wanted to show you what was in the immediate area because the Cedar Point announcement is coming up soon. So I wanted to make sure that you guys stuck with me. But look at this Axis, man. What I wouldn't give to ride this. I wish they had a working model here, but it's not exactly feasible. For those of you who don't know, Axis is a new concept of coaster where it's like a free spinning kind of deal. I believe they sold one in Europe, but right now the only operating one's at their factory in Utah. So they have the launch version now. Let's see what we got down here. The SNS logo. You'll see, if you guys are into coasters and stuff, you'll see so many familiar brains. And some stuff that you wouldn't have known. Like they're a company you don't even think about. Like there are companies that make the carpets for arcades that are like the blacklight carpets and stuff. You don't even think about that stuff, but there are whole companies dedicated to that. And then here's another example over there, Neptune Benson. Okay, that's not the one I was thinking of. Benson's a video game company, but Neptune Benson, which is somewhere around here, makes all the tanks for like water filtration, primarily for water slides and stuff. So here's the back of the Zamperla booth. Zamperla always has one of the bigger ones, but let's look at the Nebula. So you can take a look at that. All their shipping crates and stuff. A lot goes into the show. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear this, but someone's screaming riding one of the rides. This is such a good looking ride though. Look at that. Oh, it's a motion sim. That's where that's coming from. You know, so look at Connect and Go here. A lot of times it's, you know, different services and stuff like wristbands and things of that sort. But I'm going to try to stick with it. Like at Ellis and Associates. So my girlfriend's a former lifeguard for Great Wolf, so she's a big fan of Ellis. Ellis does all the auditing. So if you ever see Timmy in the water parks, Timmy is an Ellis thing. So that's they put Timmy out there. Sorry, they put Timmy out there, and you know, they have to do it. I do agree that this ride would be awesome for 72, Area 72. I mean, I wouldn't do the white lights. I would do like the black lights and green lights or something, but that would be really cool. Just imagine the theme they could have and how they could fit it into the Area 72 theme. Unfortunately, obviously I have no stake in that decision, and, you know, Don doesn't really either. So Gold Manufacturing, by the way, a small booth there, but they made the antique cars at Kings Island. Again, if you think I'm going through stuff too fast, don't worry. We're going to cover all this stuff. We just got here. We landed at about 10 o'clock this morning, and you know, we're going to go through and, you know, get as many interviews as possible. We got some people lined up for the actual podcast itself, not just this stuff. And then, you know, we'll go live a couple times potentially. We'll see how this goes. I mean, this is a pretty reasonable turnout, all things considered, being on a Tuesday morning. Okay, so you want a better view of the train. Here's a view of the train. Oh, God. So if you guys are really... Tim Holleran, tell your fans what you think about the train reveal. Okay, never mind. Okay. Having a little fun with him. So Tim is the head of Coaster Crew, the Coaster Club. Oh, look. If it isn't Jason Curtis. I'm live on YouTube, so Jason is a creative guy for Cedar Fair, so that's really cool, I guess. He did an okay job with the 50th, right? Awesome. We'll swing back around, all right? Oh, no. This guy isn't even allowed. Totally not responsible for any fireworks show that we've seen. Not at all. No. It was not the greatest show, in fact. Awesome. Well, yeah. It was more than 5 minutes ago. I don't even remember it. Awesome. How have you guys all been?
Been busy. It's been a busy year. A lot of stuff.
I hadn't noticed. Totally kidding, of course. So, William, I don't think I know you.
This is Will.
Will, and what's your technical director?
Yeah, so I'm technical director, manager.
When you see all
For the company or for a part? For all of Cedar Fair, okay.
So
And then this is
the show stuff, a lot of the tech stuff.
the shows have been so good at Kings Island and Cedar Point, but even the Dominion one, it was like let's get wild. That was really cool. Yeah, that was really neat, and it was like so much more to it. I knew you were gonna have streamers because they shot directly into the trees, but that's a risk that you always have. Well, it's funny because you might as well just buy the company at this point. That's what, you know. But yeah, you guys do. Yeah. No, I believe it, and it's such a good job. And so for those of you watching, so Lance was, what were you, head of entertainment at Kings Island before you went on to being a bigwig?
That was my last stop. Yeah. So I was at Cedar Point years ago.
Yeah,
I was
but again, if it didn't,
years ago.
yeah,
Then at Valley Fair for a little while.
yeah.
And then at Kings Island. And now it's Cedar Fair.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And so you were the mastermind behind the greatest show, right? Or are you not willing to take credit for that?
I'm not going to take credit.
Okay.
There's a lot of people behind that. There's
Well-
really good people at Kings Island who wanted to do something for a while. We're like, let's give it a try. And then it just built over time.
Yeah, I mean, you had to work with Joe Rossi and you know everybody else there, and then you did a little thing called Fun Fireworks in 50. What was your involvement in that?
We as a team worked all together. And we brought in a creative director who now works up at Cedar Point as well too. Helped put a vision together for us.
Okay.
And there's some other folks that are running around the floor here as well that were from our XDS studios, like our D&D studio. They also helped as well too. So it's a big collaborative. And I just kind of helped coordinate some things.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive, I would say. Like, as in, like, tears to your eyes impressive. I hope you like drones, because I think you're stuck with them now. Everybody loved them so much.
Stuck with drones. I think the industry is going to see a lot more drones in the future.
Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to do that while it was still fresh. So it's a lot of people hadn't seen them before. So that's really really
People
cool.
wanted to do them, so yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was awesome. You know, my Don Helbig is over here filming this stuff. You know, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was good seeing you, Lance. So,
See you too.
see you.
Bye, guys.
Oh, what do you know? Special guest Gabriel Zelazny. I'm live on YouTube, so don't say anything bad. What did you think of the train reveal? That one.
Pretty happy for this. Zamperla, they're kind of that company that produces growth.
Yeah.
From just being that flat ride that you do at a park, something like this, which might be a major roller coaster at a theme park someday. And it looks comfortable, and it looks sleek, and it looks like it belongs in 2022.
It reminds me of like the mock rides trains because it looks like it's an over-the-shoulder restraint, but it's not. It goes down on your lap.
It's those comfortable restraints that we're all now used to in this day and age.
Okay, so for those of you watching at home, Gabriel is my friend. He worked at Kings Island on Tomb Raider a long time ago. But oh yeah, show up the tats. Now you know he's a biker because he's got a tattoo. But now he works for Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas. Which show are you on?
I work at the Bellagio in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's so cool. So you just came here to check out the goods?
Came here to check out the goods. Obviously, a lot of things that you may not understand is Cirque du Soleil works with the same kind of equipment that roller coasters and dark rides do, such as a company called Kate. They provide the same equipment that we do to move all the movements at Cirque du Soleil backstage as they do with Rise of the Resistance.
Okay.
And those barges at Harmonious, those are all developed by Tate, and we use the same equipment as they use at Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, the Cirque du Soleil stuff, especially on a grand scale, is really impressive because you literally do have people's lives in your hands because you have performers on it and stuff. And I always see on Snapchat hitting the E-stop and stuff. Just make sure it works.
I am the biggest e-stop enthusiast in the world.
I like to think
Fortunately,
so.
there isn't an e-stop booth here, but maybe someday.
There's got to be a company that makes e-stops where they can, yeah, you want to collab sometime, make an e-stop company? But okay, cool. Well, hey, we'll circle back.
Yeah,
definitely give me a text or something later, and I just want to get a good shot of the train. Thanks. Check out this train. It's so shiny, but yeah, it looks like a saddle horn and stuff in the middle, so that's good for, the slipping out thing. That's how they can accommodate. They said they can accommodate something like 95% of U.S. riders that are tall enough. So that's impressive because that's always been an issue. Always been an issue. Okay. Looks like there's a lot of people wanting to do the Cedar Point reveal. So we're going to stick around here. So chat me up. So what companies do you want to see? Is there any questions you have for people in the industry? I mean, you have them at your disposal at this time. I can't necessarily get to them right now, but definitely we can hit them up, over the course of the next few days and check it out. So feel free to chat it. It's my first time ever going on live on YouTube, personal or not. So, yeah, it's cool. I appreciate everyone sticking around. By the way, it's saying that the Twister coaster is going to be at 1:30, just to set reasonable expectations. Okay, yeah. So, Big Blue Amusement Productions, you said we should get a show like that, like Adventure Port. I mean, I agree, and there does seem to be a spot like that for Adventure Port. But the problem, though, is you don't necessarily get an unlimited budget. So if we have that, we may not get like a really good showplace show or a Kings Island Theater show or whatever. So that's the give and take. I wouldn't necessarily say that drones are confirmed for next year. That's not the way I interpreted what Lance had to say. I think that it just means that it's going to be on the table from here on out because they went over so well, and I don't think that that's too much of a secret. It's they absolutely loved them, and I loved them, and now they're out there, so we'll see. The bald guy, by the way, the one that was on the right I don't want to bother them again, but I worked with him. We designed escape rooms together, so we built those together. That was kind of fun. That's how I got to know him, but he's worked for Cedar Fair for himself. He works for Cedar Fair now, but he He also was an independent contractor for about 5 or 6 years, or maybe longer. And he worked for a company called 3DX, which does scenic design. And 3DX does a lot of the stuff. Like they did about half of the floats for Grand Carnival, and then Kern did the other half. We'll hit up Kern too. Kern's a huge company for parade floats and stuff. They do, all the stuff in New Orleans and so on. Let's see if we can find anybody else. So we do have about 15 minutes to kill. From what I understand, Tony's going to speak. Antonio Zamperla is going to speak again. And then, then we'll have the reveal of the trains. I don't know if the trains are going to be special or anything, given the fact that they're spinning Wow Mouse trains, but it'll still be interesting to be some of the first to see it. Here's another one at 5:30, Adventureland. Boy, does Zamperla have a lot going on. So you guys have seen these. It's a company called Waterloo. Okay, so Whitewater. There's another company there. I'm not going to go into their booth because I'm going to do content on it later, but Whitewater made the drop capsules. They made Tropical Plunge at Kings Island. They make a ton of different stuff. So it's them and Pro Slides are the two big ones. And then further down, you'll see SimWorks, SimX iWorks. They do the motion simulator seats. If you've done motion seats, it's probably them. We got Noble and Wisdom rides. They do kind of smaller scale rides that are at, your little tiny parks. I haven't seen the Huss, however you pronounce it. They usually have a really big booth that's along the wall. But we just got here, and honestly, it was the company that Don and I are affiliated with, not Cedar Fair, the attractions group. They needed my help for something as soon as I got here. So we got here, we found them, I helped them out, and then we came to the reveal. So we haven't even been down there. There's Intamin way down there. Yeah, Zamperla is announcing 4 new things. I don't know if you're talking about Hoos. I haven't heard about that yet. But this is what it's like. I mean, if you guys ever have the opportunity to come down, I would recommend it. This is really cool stuff. Look at this. Man, Access, so cool. So cool. I love it when it's so different, But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This is definitely passing the time. I know you'd rather have Don, but I'm a better talker than him, and he's talking to a bunch of ace people and stuff that keep on coming up to him. So if you ever wonder what it's like to hang out with Don, he's like a little celebrity. Joe said he was planning on going this year, but got busy. Well, the best year to go to APA is always this year, unless it's 2020. I didn't even go in 2020. I wasn't going to deal with all that. But yeah, I mean, if it's like a pilgrimage, and if you can find a way to, like, if you're affiliate, if you work for a company or some sort of affiliate that has tickets, I appreciate. Yeah, I must be the only one live streaming right now. I know. I saw Taylor and Sarah from Coaster Studios and a bunch of other people, but they may be doing content after the fact. I just decided at the last minute to live stream because I'd never done it before, whether it was my personal YouTube or for the attractions group. But this will not be the last time I live stream here. This is really interesting, and I love sharing this stuff, and especially because I've been here. I've been here several times, probably 4 or 5 times now. I took a couple years off in 2020 and 21 for obvious reasons, but my girlfriend comes in on Wednesday night, and she gets to come here for the first time on Thursday. What app am I using? I'm just using YouTube. I'm not using anything fancy. Yeah, FYE coasters, absolutely. Yeah, make it down here next year. It's a pilgrimage. And honestly, if you've got like a true, if you're into rides and ride counts and stuff like that, it may not be as impressive for you because it's definitely business oriented. But if you have an interest in the industry itself, if you want to know, if you're more concerned with, why things happen and how things happen rather than what happens like I am, then this is like heaven for you. because I want to know every little detail. I want to know why a park puts in a ride. I want to know why they have buy one, get one tickets. I don't really care that they do. I just want to know why. Well, yeah. I mean, FYE just said he's never been, he wants to experience it. Absolutely. I mean, if anything, you can play arcade games and ride a couple different little rides they have here, like the nebulizer. Yeah, and then, so not only do you see the innovations, you get to meet people from all across the industry. So part of it is also that, part of it is that, like, I've met the RMC people here, I've met the Intamin people here, and it's cool because, you know, they appreciate the people that actually ride their stuff and want to come up and say, hey, I mean, don't fanboy over it, obviously, there's limits, but because they are here to try to sell stuff. But if you just stop by like, hey, bro, top the dragster, love it. Probably bad example, let's say Millennium Force. Hey, love Millennium Force. So, yeah, thank you, you know, and then, you know, if you talk about your experience, give them feedback and stuff, they usually appreciate that. And most of them are very, very good about that. They, you know, I've always heard like, oh, the B&M people blow people off when they go in their booth. Absolutely not the experience that I've had with them. They're willing to say hi. So I love your work. That's pretty much the extent of it. That's all I needed to say to them, and that's all they needed from me. And that was completely fine. I've actually made some really good friends here. Actually, the first time if you guys saw, listened to the episode or watched the episode with Jeff Pike from Skyline Attractions, who we will be visiting later, by the way, I met him at IAAPA by happenstance. And the reason why we found each other is because we grew up in the same city, went to the same high school, just a couple years apart. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for, you know, you meet people in the industry. I'm sorry, I'm getting used to the whole responding to people over text who are putting the chat in here. Yeah, but we're walking around. See a lot of monster trucks. And some of this stuff you can just be excited. And here's the thing, like this company sells the claw machines that put out ducks. Forget it. They make the ducks. And here's some the plushies and stuff. They actually buy the plush here too. I've actually never been over here before, but sometimes it's funny. Thank you, FYE. I don't really consider you guys my fans. I consider you like people who listen to my podcast because I'm not a celebrity. Don may feel differently. I don't know. But no, he doesn't feel. I'm just joking about that. But he does have a lot of people in his corner. He had about 15 people say hi to him before I had one person say hi to me. Here's a Wizard of Oz game. So Aloot, I guess is how you pronounce it. They're the ones who make that. Check this out. This is something that they need at the parks. They've got the map on the floor. I think that would be awesome. You know, it's something you could paint over it every year to update it. So look, all the plush and stuff. They got their SpongeBob here. We've been live for about 32 minutes now. I was worried about time, but it's working out rather well. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to go down some of these aisles where I'm probably not gonna do content. Like I'm not gonna interview like arcade people or anything like that. The question is, are we gonna be here the rest of the week? Pretty much. So we landed today. We'll be here all day today, all day tomorrow, all day Thursday, and then Friday we'll be in town, but we're either gonna do Universal or SeaWorld, and then go to the Orlando Informer meetup that night, and then we're gonna do either, if we don't do Universal, we'll do SeaWorld during the day on Saturday as well. So flip-flop the days if you need to. And then go to the Orlando Informer thing again the second night, the meetup. So again, I mentioned, you know, my girlfriend's never been down here before. So not only is her first time at IAAPA, I get to show her, you know, Universal. So here's, yeah, I appreciate it. FYE Coaster said he can't wait to see the content. We've been looking forward to this so long. We honestly are so passionate about this and just showing everyone that's cool. We're projecting stuff on the wall. They have like a fire. It's a fire thing where they squirt fire somewhere and they do fog. I think I tweeted the fog thing. But they have stuff like that because they have theatric stuff and stuff for escape rooms and kind of stuff for live shows. Not a lot, but a lot of ticketing stuff too. POS systems. I'm gonna have to put my extra battery on. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. And so my phone's been up since then too, you know. I use my iPad on the airplane. You know, we flew out of Cincinnati, so it was about a 2-hour flight. So there's some kids riding stuff. Yeah, I agree. It's yeah, okay. Yeah, FYE, go back to work. I don't want to stop you. But yeah, it is nice having a more normal, very few people are wearing masks and stuff. When I didn't come in 2020, there were very few people here. My business partner, David, from the attractions group, he did come. But there are very few people here, or very few booths here. And on top of that, 2021 was about 2/3 sold out. But last I heard, it was 95%. And oftentimes they get that extra residual with last minute people that pick up a booth or something. It's actually normally hard to get a booth. It was not canceled in 2020. They had it, but barely. It was, I was banking on them not having it because I thought it would be ridiculous to bring people in from around the world in the middle of a pandemic, but they still did. It was lightly attended. I think it accomplished what they needed to accomplish, but it was not, yes, you're right. They had the Orion train reveal. You're right. I mean, oftentimes we know what these trains look like. So, when they had the train reveals, it's not a big deal. But it is cool to see them in person. And it does give that park their moment in the sun. Here's the Axis concept. I think this is from the SNS. Oh, yeah, you're right. That was 2019. Well, they still had it in 2020. They would have had it in 2019 for the train reveal because they announced it in late 2019. See, and there's the SNS booth. See, a lot of them have backstage areas where sometimes they have tech stuff back there, but often they actually have people, if you're like, hey, I might actually want to buy something, they'll have a private little room for you. I'm going to tweet pictures of the attraction group's booth. He does digital signage. And I want you guys to let me know what you think of it. Seen a lot of people from the Walt Disney Company this year. That's not normal. Okay, so this announcement is at 1:30, and it looks like we are almost at time. So lucky to be able to get a position like this. So for those of you who missed the previous announcement, they got a little walkway up there, and they can speak about, Antonio Zamperla will speak about the ride, and then I believe Tony Clark's going to be there, and he's going to talk about what it means to Cedar Point. And they'll probably show a video like last time, and then they will. Then they'll reveal the train and we can get a look at it and we can get everyone's reaction. But while we're waiting, feel free to ask any questions if you're watching. So this should be any minute now. Yeah, it looks like it's about 15 seconds until it's supposed to pop off. Not that I know if it's on time. The cheese car or the mouse car? Is that a real? That'd be really funny if it was a cheese car. I love cheese though, I have to admit. All right, people in the booth are starting to scramble, so it's probably about time. Oh. Saw a Cedar Point shirt.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Oh, there's Tony Clark, Cedar Point's Director of Communications.
Good afternoon, everyone. There we go. Welcome to the IAPA Trade Show floor. I'm Tony Clark, the Director of Communications at Cedar Point. I am so honored to be here today, along with Adam Sandy from Zamperla, as we work together to unveil our brand new Wild Mouse roller coaster car. Are you excited? I am excited. Do we know what's under there? Do you know what's under there? You know what's under there. Okay,
yeah, I don't know how IROC will handle this.
This could be a nice reveal.
Probably not a problem. It's not an uncommon, right?
The amusement park in North America. We are so proud of our rich history on the shores of Lake Erie. And back in 1870, all we were was a beach. People came to the beach, they spent the day bathing in the sun, playing in Lake Erie, and then over the years it just grew into the mega resort that it is today. And now we are a multi-day destination for families, for thrill seekers, roller coaster lovers, entertainment lovers, and event lovers alike. And in 2020, we tried to celebrate our 150th anniversary, and that didn't go as planned, so we did it the next year. We celebrated our heritage. And we're kind of reinventing our heritage again in 2023 with the introduction of the boardwalk at Cedar Point. So in addition to a great new roller coaster, the Wild Mouse, which is a nod to the Wild Mouse from the 60s at Cedar Point, we're also adding Cedar Point's Grand Pavilion, which is a multi-story dining entertainment venue where you can sit if you are a non-rider on one of the patios and watch the Wild Mouse coaster spin and spin and spin while you enjoy a nice beverage or a nice meal. And I don't know, I'm pretty thrilled to see this. Are you excited? I'm ready. Are you guys ready to see this? All right, Cedar Point's 18th roller coaster. It is the Wild Mouse. Let's count it down. Ready? 3, 2, 1. It's the cheese car.
So it is the cheese car. There's your answer. I will definitely get up.
6 of them are mice, and the mice are going to chase the cheese. Our old Wild Mouse coaster did some pretty traditional maneuvers. It didn't do craziness, but Zamperla has taken that idea and has made it to a crazy, new, interesting, enjoyable thing.
Whenever we work with Cedar Point, it's always, what can we do that's different? And they came to us and said, look, we want to try to find a little bit crazy. So we did a few custom twister coasters. This is the most crazy one we've done so far. So we're really excited about it. I think the other big thing that's a big difference from the manufacturer is that we really work hard on ADA accessibility. We have designed the lines of the portfolio. We take a lot of time here to hear it. Make sure that that's the challenges with the vehicle. On this specific one, it actually opens up. A wheelchair transport. It's very easy. It doesn't take a lot of time. And we recognize that.
So for those of you who can't hear that, he said that the side door opens up for wheelchair access. It's fast loading.
So that everybody rides. That's our goal. We may not always get there, but going beyond compliance is really key to what we do and who we serve. And I think the other fun thing is like, you guys have great coasters, like steel vendors, awesome ride.
There's a few crazy ones.
It's pretty intense though, right?
Yes, it is.
You know, I think this would be great to have ride, families to visit, and resort down. So we have something fun and different that if you go out of this kiddo this is the perfect ride for that family.
Your memories start with rides like the Wild Mouse. You remember that very first coaster you went together? The very first big one you were together? Exactly. The one thing I'm really thrilled about is the fact that no two rides are the same. So if you're riding with just a friend or you're riding with a family and all four of you are ready to spin on very different ways.
Pretty crazy. Big pro tip. Happier people on one side, lighter people on the other. You're not going to stop spinning. If you want that, not everybody does.
Yeah, but not after corn dogs and fresh cut fries. So save that. So we're excited to debut the Wild Mouse coaster in the spring of 2023 when Cedar Point opens for the season in May. We invite you to come and take a ride on the Wild Mouse next summer, but until then, we'd like people to come and check this out.
Yeah, obviously, come and join the Wild Mouse. Thanks everybody for stopping by.
Thanks all.
All right.
Cheese. We doing cheese?
So that was
Cheddar?
You guys did the creative, you tell me.
It's going to be cheddar today.
all right. So that was Tony Clark,
Come on up and
Director
check it
of
out.
Communications for Cedar Point, announcing that they're showing the cheese car. So half cheese cars, half mouse cars. Very interesting. We're gonna have to get a little closer. Looks like I'm going against the traffic jam. Yeah. So look at that. It's a cool looking car. What'd you think?
Very good.
Very good. Do you like cheese in general? Cheddar cheese, yeah. All right, well, enjoy the rest of the show, and we'll circle back around, all right?
Follow back on Twitter.
I will do that. Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, cheers, yeah. All right. Cheers.
Nice to actually meet you and not just see your face on my Twitter all the time. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were. Okay.
I think it's a bigger vacation than you got this.
I like saying.
And Don's talking to the Coaster Studios people. I'm gonna get closer to the vehicle for you guys. Look at the modern lap bars. That is nice.
We gotta remember. Then you can have our original
Get you,
Hi, I'm the other guy from the podcast. What'd you think? What'd you think of both announcements, actually?
It was good. I love what Zamperla's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. What about you, Sarah? What do you think?
It's cheese, which is my favorite thing. And now this come to life in the form of a roller coaster. So
Yes.
I don't mind cheese either. I love cheese. But yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Coaster Studios, huge. We're live right now. I probably should disclose that.
Okay.
So this is on the Attractions Group Podcast YouTube channel. So so Coaster Studios, just search for them on YouTube. They've got probably hundreds of videos, if not thousands now.
Thousands.
They're dropping stuff from Europe when they're here now. So
like, how many days are a month? 30 or 31?
I don't know.
At least that many videos a month. So.
Yeah. No. Tons of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, tons of stuff, domestic and abroad. So
Yes,
awesome. Check them out. All right. Cool. Thank you. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is the announcements are over, so I'm going to kill the live feed, but I appreciate everyone who stuck with me. This will not be my last time going live, so keep an eye out for it. I know that most of you guys are working and stuff during this time, but again, this is Ryan signing out from IAPA 2022, Orlando, Florida, Orange County Convention Center. So we'll see you guys soon. Make sure to follow us at attractions_GRP on Twitter, as well as your favorite podcast apps, and search for the Attractions Group Podcast on YouTube if you haven't yet, because you're watching my live feed anyway. See ya.